Hello and welcome to GonzoEwok's Let's Play of Kerbal Space Program, which we like to call
Geordie Space Program.
I am your pilot Ewok, and I am here with my Chief of Engineering.
That would be Gonzo.
That would be Gonzo. Let's launch straight into this game. A quick update of where we got to last time. We got to the Mun, and we crash-landed on the Mun, but we crash-landed in a slightly more controlled fashion than the first crash-landing that we did on the Mun in Episode 2.
Which is progress.
It is progress. We said that when we initially crashed headlong into the Mun, that was 50% of our target of getting to the Mun and back.
If I remember rightly as well, I think we actually bounced a couple of times off the Moon, which some people could consider a landing.
And what was the flight called?
It was the Nipple-Less Wonder.
The Nipple-Less Wonder. Okay, so if you look, we've actually got 3 pieces of the Nipple-Less Wonder actually on the Mun. So we do have some working Kerbal technology there. Let's quickly zoom in on that. I want to see what we've got left. So before we had nothing but a massive explosion. But now look.
A leg!
A leg on the Moon. Functioning, well, not functioning, but
Can we retract it?
Intact. No, unfortunately I don't seem to be able to click on it.
I'm just going to... No, I've tried pressing G there just to see if I can make the bit come in there, but no.
But yeah, I mean, look, we've got some other stuff over there.
We spread it half a kilometre off the face of the off the Moon there. That's pretty hardcore.
So there we go. Proof indeed that we have landed
on the
parts of a spaceship on the Mun. Now, we did have a bit of a problem. You blame me for that, don't you? You blame me for the failure?
Well, there's nobody else to blame. It wasn't my fault. It was your fault because you did what you've done in all my previous videos. You panicked, and then you fucked up the flight again. Actually...
Well, personally, I believe that it's the fact that we didn't have any power on the damn thing. So by the time that we got to the Mun, I didn't have any manoeuvrability left and had to try and land it using the thrusters purely without being able to adjust the angle of approach.
From memory, I can remember just before we went to launch it, I did say, is there anything else we need? And I kind of looked at you imploringly and you went, no, that's fine. So technically, I mean, buck stops with the guy that's flying it. You should have said
you were entirely responsible for ship design. This is the Nipple-Less Wonder. It's a monster of a beast. We're going to be using this one again, but this time we're going to stick some batteries on it.
We don't have any solar panels or anything, do we?
We don't, which is why I'm just going to stick loads of batteries on it. See, that'll do. That'll give us enough power to get there. Everything was okay with the staging, wasn't it? There was no problem with the staging. It launched fine, apart from me cocking up with the space button.
The very bottom stage, I think, needs to be...
Oh, yes, of course, that needs to... yeah, we did have an incident with that the first time we tried to launch this.
We dropped one of our rockets back.
This is effectively a Mark II. It's a minor change, but we have added the batteries onto it, so this is going to be the Nipple-Less Wonder Mark II. We did say if I failed to land, that Gonzo was going to take over the piloting, but he's graciously agreed to let me have another chance to
One last
chance to see if I can land this thing with power, with batteries. So this should be a pretty quick and exciting episode, really, because we already know that this has the capability to get to the Mun. We don't have to build a new rocket from scratch, so we are just
launch it quick
to launch the fucker.
Remember to launch it quick.
Oh, it's a slow burn off a takeoff, isn't it? But it gets there. Whoa! It's a little bit chunky, it'll be okay. We're thrusting straighten us out, you see, it's straightening us out already.
Nearly one with this piece, but not quite.
It's quite the monster, isn't it? I mean, I do like it. It's a lot less delicate than the ones that I initially tried to design when we first started doing these videos.
I think we both did kind of establish, and I think we'll talk about that in the previous episode as well, that ultimately because we're not particularly great pilots and we're not great at working out orbits, trajectories, all of this sciencey stuff, we need more fuel to allow for pilot error. It's no good when the pilot presses space and ejects half of the fucking fuel off onto the ground, though.
Can I just quickly bring something to your attention? Bob Kerman, the orange shirt, is back. And we killed both Bob and Bill.
Yep. We
killed Bill twice.
Looks as though we're probably going to end up killing Bob twice, yeah.
So these guys keep sort of respawning, it seems. Oh, I'm sorry, I got totally distracted. I may have fucked the launch up a little bit because I was carrying that empty solid fuel there. But I don't think we were carrying it for long.
We've still got plenty of fuel there, we'll be alright.
Yeah, it's definitely not time to quit and back out.
It is very odd about Bob, though.
Well, it's the second time it's happened, so I'm not really as surprised as I was the first time it happened. But yeah, I just noticed him there. I just noticed the little orange jumpsuit. Never mind, he's got another chance at life. Another chance to get to the moon. Was it Bob that face planted into the Kerbal desert at around about 500 kilometres a second?
It was. I believe that was another mistake that you made last episode.
That was 2 episodes ago, that
yeah.
one. It was 2 episodes ago when we did the super sciencey stuff.
So how are we getting on? It's probably time to start doing your bendy thing.
Yeah, it probably is, to be honest. It's probably time to start trying to lean gradually into that orbit.
Look, you're being all friggin' casual with your pilot. Yeah, it's probably time. Yeah, they should probably do it.
I mean, I'm just going to lean ever so slightly because we've still got a long way to go before we hit the necessary apoapsis. There we go, we'll get rid of them.
It does take
it up a
bit of time to get going. The one thing that I don't like about this, while I do like all the extra fuel, and I do kind of like its brute force, I don't like the fact that it's not particularly fast.
Yeah, but speed is only one part of successful rocket design.
It's
I
the
think
fun part.
what this has got is power and longevity.
But why can't I add speed into the mix of power and longevity?
Because it's too fucking heavy. Because you put everything on it. You wanted to put all the rockets on it.
That'd be good.
It is a slow bugger, isn't it?
I've got a feeling that we need a couple of little minor tweaks to this. We might need a Mark III if we can't get this to the moon and back. But we'll see how we get on with this flight. I'm actually remaining, despite possibly the way that I'm sounding, I'm feeling sort of quietly confident about my chances. I think this is the time we can do it.
Yeah, we know it's a sound rocket. It's a solid rocket. I think I probably ran out of fuel there. No, still a tiny bit left.
And this is when it starts motoring once you get rid of the engines and all the big long fuel tanks at the bottom. Helps when the engines are turned on.
I just needed to give it a second so I could blow them away. Right, so, I mean, we're heading up, probably... Well, actually, we're leaning quite heavily, even though the ship isn't leaning heavily. Our direction of motion is leaning quite heavily. Yeah, this is sort of loosely based on the design that I've had going on in my own single-player campaign, my own career mode that I've been playing on my machine, and I find that happens on mine as well. It's a bit of a strange one, but it does the trick, you know. Yeah, it's doing the job. I mean, we're going to get up there slowly but surely. Can't help but think that this initial bit is not the most riveting part of the video, but we can have a bit of a slow start to get an exciting conclusion. I think that's acceptable.
Well, I know a lot of people say slow and steady wins the race. I still think fast and steady wins the race and it's more exciting, but we'll have to work on that a little bit. I think the danger is that, you see, we've kind of stumbled upon this design, kind of in a moment of brilliance on my part. I'll just be nice.
A moment of brilliance, okay.
Yeah, I think it's nothing short of a moment of brilliance. We've stumbled upon this design that seems pretty decent. Unfortunately, if we mess with the recipe of this too much, I'll not be entirely happy because I'm not quite sure how we kind of stumbled on this.
Okay, I have to start burning like right now in order to get us into an orbit, apparently.
Yeah, orbital velocity doesn't seem massively high, really. We'll get there. We've still got plenty. Bearing in mind, once we've got the orbit, it's not a huge amount to get myself just kind of prodded off towards the moon and then just burn a little bit to get ourselves down in one piece.
I'll be honest with you, I'm a little bit concerned about getting the orbit here.
It's probably because
I mean, I put a manoeuvre note on and said I was going to have to burn for quite some time. And we're about to pass... Oh no, we're not about to pass apoapsis. I've moved that apoapsis away a bit so I can probably afford to cut the engines out. Be a bit more fuel efficient about it. Oh crap, I need to get rid of that one, don't I?
Oh, you put another one in. I mean, okay. Don't panic, whatever you do, don't panic.
I won't panic, I'll just nip in and start manually burning again. I've accidentally locked onto Kerbal.
There we go.
I still feel like I'm burning too early.
Maybe a touch. We'll get it sorted. You're right though, I mean, it seems like we've struggled quite a bit more in terms of getting this thing
Yeah, it seemed so easy last time, but I think we'd already dropped this this second stage by this point, and we used the what was supposed to be the landing stage to get into orbit.
Yeah.
So we're still doing all right because we've still got that full tank of fuel for the landing stage, and we can use that to manoeuvre as well because it's got a lot more than it needs to. And apparently, at this point now, it needs an 11-second burn to get into that pretty decent orbit there.
I think that seems to be key. It's getting yourself up into this kind of altitude with lots of fuel to play with, because to be honest, once you've got all of this fuel, it doesn't take much at all to kind of push your orbit right out to where you need to be. It's really it's the landing and the takeoff. That's what seems to be the killer on your fuel.
Yeah, I mean, look at that. It's lilting out quite nicely now, and I think we're gonna come out of this quite nice. I hesitate to say that I've got a bit of confidence in this one.
I'm still maintaining. I think this is where we're going to do it.
We've still got some fuel left in this engine that we can use to do a manoeuvre with. See if we can get us on a Mun intercept.
Where the fuck's the moon?
Right, it's over there. So I probably want to try and manoeuvre around here.
I still get a horrible sinking feeling every time I see that little orbit that we've got going on with Jebediah there.
With Jebediah, Jebediah lost in space, 4th time of failure.
We should probably check in on him at some point just to see how he's doing. Still determined that at one point we're going to bring him back.
Oh, that gets us pretty close, doesn't it?
That's not bad at all.
31-second burn. I'm not sure we've got enough fuel to make a full 31-second burn, but we'll do as much as we can. And then if I need to correct orbit, we'll correct orbit. This thing manoeuvres like a bloody pig.
Have we unlocked RCS thrusters or anything that might help with it, kind of get things turning, like the reaction wheels or anything like that?
I think we had the reaction wheel available to us, but we turned it down to get some more power for the rockets.
Yeah, I wanted the bigger fuel tanks. It's all coming back to us now.
And the bigger fuel tanks sort of made sense at the time.
To be honest, the thing is, with the bigger fuel tanks, even though, I mean, they're just like 2 of the 400s or 4 of the 200s stuck together, I can't quite get my head around how many of the smaller tanks that I need, because the one working rocket that I've designed myself, which is very similar to this one, just used the 800s. So I'm just, even though I know in my heart of hearts it's exactly the same, I just like the 800s there. I'm not sure if there is any benefit to taking 800s as opposed to like 2 400s for one 800, but I like to think there is. That's why I like to stick with them. Plus your rocket looks a little bit better.
Mm-hmm.
That's important. I mean, it's all fine and well if it's shit, as long as it looks good. I mean, that's half the battle.
I'm not exactly sure where my manoeuvre node's going to be, so I'm just sort of randomly spinning around to see if I can find it.
We definitely need something that's going to let this control a little bit better, I think.
It'll be fine once we kick off this next stage, I think.
The other thing, just remind us, Ewok, have we got any science from being near the moon? Have we managed to actually get any science and bring it back?
No, I don't think we ever managed to bring any back.
Shit. Okay. Well, I suppose that means that even if we can get fairly close to it, there's still quite a good haul of science we can get.
You've said this before, and I keep telling you, if we get that close to it, we have to try and land on it. The goal isn't science hoarding, the goal is to land on the Mun.
But the science is nice as well. I don't see why we can't have some of the science. Given that 2 videos ago we spent over 30 minutes randomly just flying to different parts of our home planet to collect ice and sand.
But that was to get enough to get to the Mun. I think we've got that now.
But if we get close to the Mun, surely it's a false economy to then crash into it and not just get some science and come back home with the science and make ourselves even better. Because
you said yourself we're closer to beating our goal now that we have some debris on the Mun.
This is true. We have got debris on the Moon. We have effectively touched down on the Moon and bits have survived. So that's pretty decent. However, I'm thinking of bigger and better things for the Geordie nation, and I'm thinking of bigger and better things for the Geordie Space Program. And I think, to be honest, we're setting ourselves up for a very small kind of goal, aiming for the Moon. I think, we're going to have that.
That is the first goal. That is the first
exactly,
goal.
And I'm just thinking of our future, and my future is going to need a fuckload more science.
Yeah, but once we get to the Mun and back, we're going to have that science. We're going to have a buttload. I've never done it. I don't know how much you get.
If you remember, though, the thing that worries us is when we went to the polls, you were all excited, or I got you all excited, that was my bad, saying, we'll get shitloads, and we'll get about 5 or 10 or something.
We got the same as you do anywhere else on the planet Kerbal, except we went to the arse end of the planet Kerbal to get it.
So I think we should be in for a good haul, and that certainly will be useful, but, you know, the idea of maybe getting ourselves into an orbit around the moon at some point, I mean, I'm not sure quite how you're planning on doing your landing here. Bearing in mind, when you fail it, I'm fucking taking over for our next episode.
The key word that you had in there was planning, and I haven't done much of that.
Okay then, well, I know that your tried and tested method, as you've done in all of our previous attempts when we're getting close to the moon, is just to aim at it and then try not to burst on impact. So we'll see how you get on with that again, I suppose, if that's the way you're going to go. But I'll show you how it's properly done if I get half a chance. Believe me, I'm eyeing that keyboard with green and envious eyes.
Yeah, but you're not going to get it because I'm going to land.
I really hope you prove us wrong.
See, I know exactly what I'm doing. Look at how sweet that is. Periapsis of 179 kilometres.
That's not bad. I mean, would have been better if it was like 10.
But and I'm going to head straight into it, despite your insistence that I get into an orbit around it.
Right, well, I suppose, you know what, I'm not going to argue because you're using Bob, and Bob, like Bill, is already dead. This is like a free life. We've got an extra one up here, so I'll let you try your Doom to Fail kind of ambition here and see what happens. If it doesn't work, though, as I said, I am going to slap you upside the head, and then I'm going to take the keyboard from you forcibly. I don't have any weapons on us. I've got a coffee cup and I've got a cigarette here. So between the coffee cup, myself, and the cigarette, we'll stage a mutiny, and then I'll probably do it. I'll do it the way it should be done.
I'm going to have to get a bit closer before I can work out exactly what I'm doing here.
You got very close to Jebediah there.
Jebediah?
What? Hang on.
That is Jebediah. That's Jebediah Kerbal in Fourth Time as a Failure.
What's the other thing?
Oh, hang on. No, that's Jebediah Kerbal. Who the hell is in that? Right, hang on. Who the hell is in this? Is there anyone in this?
Bill? What? Bill?
Oh, yes, that's right. On Bill's second life, he didn't die. He ended up lost in space. And we said it's a slightly worse fate. Or a slightly better fate.
I totally forgot.
I totally forgot about that.
So we've got another rescue mission here then. We've got to save Undead Bill as well from himself.
So in fact, all of the red coats, or all of the orange coats, are currently alive, despite the fact that we've killed 2 of them.
Guardians of the planet. They're just circling around in a nice big orbit, just keeping an eye out.
Right, where's the bloody ship? How far away am I zoomed out of this fucker? Oh, there it is.
There it is.
Bit weird.
Nice.
See, it's definitely looking a lot more wieldy now than it was. Now, I have overshot the moon several times, so...
Just be careful.
Viewers will have to unfortunately put up with a fairly slow time warp approach.
Here we go. I guess still like half an hour away. You are aiming directly for it, aren't you? I think you're going on the other side of it now. You really need to wait until you're into its sphere of influence before you can set that manoeuvre node, I think.
I think that's leading me into it.
Okay. Alright. So yeah, I think, 5 kilometres to get yourself into a good orbit round, it's a pretty good deal. That's what I'll be aiming for when you kill Bob.
Bob will not die. Let's see, that manoeuvre is going to take not applicable.
Have we run out of fuel? No, we haven't run out of fuel.
No, we haven't run out of fuel. We've got loads of fuel.
It's only 178.5 metres per second in Delta V. That's not a huge amount. We'll be fine.
What the fuck did you just say?
The metres per second, it's called Delta V. I've been reading up on things now that I'm international space traveller. Now that I've worked it all out, I'm the fucking expert. I'm your chief engineer. Just trust us. Basically, that big green bar, the number next to it is how much we've got to accelerate in order to achieve the new trajectory. All you need to know is if that number's really high, we're kind of fucked. And if that number's quite low, it just means we just need a little burn. So we'll be alright.
Okay, sounds good to me. I will trust my chief engineer on this one.
Just do as I tell you, as I tell you, and don't fuck it up in the meantime.
I just feel like as a pilot, I should probably know little terms like
Doesn't matter.
Delta V.
Doesn't matter.
That's what you're there for.
Exactly. I'm the science.
Oh, okay. This is just.
Told you. You need to wait until you've got the actual. You come under its sphere of influence.
Yeah, you're right. That's not working at all. Let's get rid of this shit.
Yeah, if you want to crash.
Add the manoeuvre here. A 16-second burn.
Manage that. No bother.
I'm just wondering if I can shorten it down by coming a little bit further out.
I think it's all academic anyway, because you're going to hit the planet like a fucking dart and just leave more debris there. If we're lucky, we might leave some more debris there. You know that quiet sense of confidence that I had as soon as you said, "Oh yeah, we'll just aim at the moon again." That was me confidence out the window in terms of the success of this mission.
You see, you expect me to trust you, yet you offer me so little in return.
I just taught you what Delta V is. It's quite useful to know that. Green bar at the side.
I knew it was meters a second. I didn't necessarily need to know it was Delta. Oh, that green bar.
Yeah.
Ah.
Yeah, that's Delta V.
Well, I knew what it did. I didn't even know what it was called.
I believe it's some sort of like physics equation to work out, or to do with escape velocities and whatnot. Effectively, what I've learned is if it says that you need like 55,000 meters per second, you're probably fucked. And if it says you need like a couple of hundred, it's probably doable with what we've got.
I just know that you need to keep burning until that bar goes to 0. See, that'll do nicely.
I can't help but feel we've had a slight role reversal here, whereas I've matured in terms of my scientific knowledge of rocket science, and you've turned into let's just aim at the fucking planet and burn in the general direction away from it, and that'll probably get with it. We've totally swapped roles here.
How come we've only got 50 electrical capacity?
We'll have used a little bit on the SAS because those tiny little WUS burners that we've got on Wallander I don't think recharge our batteries. So we've used a tiny amount, but not using a great deal.
Okay. So what's the point of having them batteries on when they don't seem to have added anything? Or are they draining? They're draining at the same time.
And as you're stabilising. But usually the batteries recharge when you've got an engine going, but the little engines don't recharge them.
I just thought that they sort of appeared with... like sort of added onto the 50 that goes with your vessel, but they don't. They just charge at the same time.
Yeah.
Or discharge at the same time. Discharge.
Space discharge. We made a joke about the goo all over space, didn't we? Spreading my goo.
We did, yeah. I'm just going to put that node there, not actually do a manoeuvre, just to see how long it's going to take to get there, which is 1 hour 30. Because we don't really want to do this in real time, do we?
At least you're going to crash on the light side by the looks of it. That'll be nice.
Well, just.
See explosion, glorious technically.
What sort of speed are we doing? Accelerating rapidly.
Quite a bit. You might want to kind of turn and look at the general direction of the moon, because we're now under 10,000 meters away from it. See, there it is. We're kind of looking the wrong way. Right, and you do whatever you do to land.
I do whatever I do.
Worked so swimmingly before. Go on then, do what you can.
This thing really does handle like a pig. Should I put the legs out yet?
What are we at in terms of meters? We're still quite a bit up. No, even though I'm usually the first to say get the legs out.
I was more just sort of joking and sort of mocking you.
Oh, well, fuck you then. No, keep the legs in for the time being. Wait until you've getting yourself nice and close first. Well, that being said, because you tend to panic, it might make sense to put the legs out now, because you can guarantee that you'll end up actually, for once, getting it nice and straight and level, coming in nicely, then forget to put the legs out and you panic. And then
it never hurts to put the legs out, does it?
No. I do like the extra pairs of legs we've got around the capsule as well. Just think that adds a nice little bit of flair to the whole proceedings as well. The old Geordie aesthetics just...
Are you still nervous about my aim directly at the moon approach?
The speed isn't as ridiculous as I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, it slows you down quite a bit.
You're coming down in a light bit. Doesn't look as though there's any massive mountains or craters, but we're still quite a bit of a distance off. We'll see what it's like when you have it.
Now, ideally, I don't want to land on the one leg. I want to spread it, but I want to keep my craft sort of balanced and even, so I know exactly where I'm going with the nav ball, if you know what I mean by that. Well, I don't particularly want to speed up, even though this is kind of dragging out a bit.
Well,
look at the amount of fuel. Look at the amount of fuel we've got left.
Bearing in mind that's got to get home as well, remember? So don't go and shoot your wad.
Piece of piss. When do you think I should start burning?
Not telling you.
Fuck you!
Not telling you, that's your business.
Some fucking chief engineer you are.
I'm not telling you. You work it out. You think you know better than me. I wanted to get you in a nice stable orbit around the moon and then bring you down nice and gently. And you said...
Yeah, you would have pissed away all that fuel.
It wouldn't have done. It would have took like a few seconds burn at most to do that. Hardly anything.
A few seconds could be the difference between Bob's life and death.
But, conversely, yeah, that would have burnt a few seconds fuel, but it meant that your landing would be much more gentle and much less intensive on the fuel as well. So, ultimately, as I said, I am telling you. Are you burning now?
Yes.
It's an interesting choice.
But I'm only burning very slowly.
It's still an interesting choice.
I just wanted to get a gauge on how fast my speed would drop, to be perfectly honest with you.
Alright.
And quite quickly, even with just that tiniest bit of thrust. So just a tiny little dab of fuel I use just to get the idea.
But you see, this is the point though, because now your speed's increasing again. And that's going to keep happening. That's why you want to be nice and low when you try this.
But again, you have to use the fuel to get nice and low, so it's a false economy you're letting yourself into. I really hope we're not going to land in that big crater, because that's going to be really fucking difficult to put down in, isn't it? Oh, if I fail this simply because of a poor landing site, well, I suppose that is my own fault.
That's also your fault, yeah. You're the only one that's flying the I was going to call it the space plane there. What do I mean? Rocket. That's the word. Flying the rocket. Bearing in mind, we've got, even though they're little Wussa engines, we've got 3 of them, so that they are quite effective at what they do. I never used to be a fan of these, I just didn't see the point, but I'm actually starting to warm to them a little bit.
I'm trying to slow my forward momentum and just try and...
It's nice and flat this way, you'll be fine. I'd say actually this isn't going too bad.
You see...
Why is your cursor spinning around? What's happened to your cursor?
Something is loading.
It's alright, it's gone. Okay. Right, yeah, bring this in there. Oh, I wouldn't say great, but it's not bad. Could this be it?
Of course.
Bob, first Kerbal in one piece on the moon, and potentially with enough to get back home.
Potentially.
Potentially. Providing you don't do something daft here, I think we've done it.
How far away is that ground? It could be 1,000 kilometres, could be 10 kilometres.
Keep yourself in low, because you'll see a shadow when you're starting to get close. There you go. Kind of coming down fairly quick. I'd still kind of keep looking down a bit below your craft. Now you're going up. What have you done? Right.
Sorry, I was pressing shift instead of control.
Okay, that was probably the mistake that we didn't want to see happen.
No, it's all good. I just pressed the wrong button ever so slightly, and we'll just let it take its time, slowly drop back down. I've got my hand on shift, I've got my hand on control.
Right.
I'm very nervous. I am very, very nervous.
How many times in your own playthrough have you actually managed to land on the moon?
About 2 times, but never with any fuel to get home.
Oh, bless. It's good, it's good. Don't kangaroo again. It's fine. Just leave it be. Come on, that's a nice slow descent. You're still quite a bit of a distance up. Oh my god. Waiting with bated breath here. I think you're kind of drifting slightly.
I don't think it matters.
I think it does. But we'll see. Bit more cut engines. Oh, my. Oh.
Yes!
Get in! Well, we did it! When Pete, we're all right. We've survived. Oh, happy day!
Science! Science! 100 science!
Let's mark this occasion by reading the bits out as we open them. Oh, we've been
photobombed by
video bombed. Just
the goo seems to be less dense here. 40 science.
Observation. So we're in the moon's highlands. That's telling me as well, because there's different.
Also,
biomes
the moon's got
moon.
biomes.
Yeah.
Excellent. Crew report. Crew's assessment of the situation. Yawn.
Do you know what I'd like to do? I'd like to build a dune buggy and bring it to the moon, just loaded with science, and just drive around on it for a while. That's something that I'm really looking forward to doing as well.
I forgot how I turned my jetpack on.
I think it's R. Is it?
It doesn't seem to be
You might need
wanting to let me do it on here, so he is going to have to... Oh, perfect.
Sitting on the battery. There, it's on. Now, don't do anything daft. There we go, we're down. Now plant that flag.
Woo! Hero!
Get
Hey!
Bob? Zombie Bob? Oh, if only his brothers were still alive to see this. Flag's backwards. Well, that'll do. Again, that's probably quite a good analogy for Geordie Space Program. There we go. I was going to say we should have typed proper fucking waxer, but that'll do. Okay then, so now we're here, what do we do?
I suppose we'll
go home.
We take an EVA report. We take a surface sample.
Look at all this science.
Oh my god, and then... I'm so scared to try and get back.
Right, okay then. Now that we're doing this... Well, I mean, I could be a complete prick about this and just not tell you how I think you should try and get home. But we're so close.
Would you recommend trying to get into a Munna orbit first? Or would you recommend I just aim towards the Earth and hit the thrusters?
The audience watching this can't actually see what I'm doing, but I am kind of scrunching my face and kind of wobbling my hand a little bit.
As if to imply, I don't really know.
I know what I'd like to do, but this isn't the way that I was going to think that you should land. I should probably actually eat my words as well, because I didn't think that was going to be happening. So, well done. Your piloting skills were fairly impressive there, all things considered.
Why, thank you. That means a lot to me that you would admit that on such a monumental occasion. Oh!
Don't stop your heading off a battery, that's all we fucking need. Kill Bob.
Oh, it's alright.
Cranium.
It's only a short distance that he will be falling very slowly.
Right, now don't do something stupid like run out of like his propellant and his tanks or something. Just get him back up there. Stop fannying on. We've nearly got this in the bag.
I'm not fannying on. It's fucking you making this lander so high.
Just nice and gentle. Now, you had it there. If he dies, I'm going to shove this cigarette into one of your ears and it's going to come out the other one.
Well, you're right, I had it, but I think I was moving with too much momentum when he grabbed hold of it, so he immediately sort of let go and fell off.
Gently, gently. Hover over where it says resources at the top right, just to see how much fuel he's got. Ah, loads, we're fine, that's okay. Go on then.
After all that, this is quite an embarrassing moment.
Yeah, we can get to the moon, but we can't get back into a 10-foot structure. Oh, Jesus Christ. There, you've got it. Don't do anything daft. You've done something daft. Don't do anything...
I can't control him when he starts falling, you know, mate.
You had a hold of it, and then you let go again.
I didn't let... Okay, yeah.
F, and then press F again. Before your fingers do anything daft, once he's got a hold, just press F again.
Double tap F.
Double tap the F.
Or just spam the F button. I'm so sorry.
This is fucking riveting. Sorry, viewers. There, you've got it. Press it again.
Hey, we're in.
Right.
Right, what's the plan?
So, what I think's a good idea, and feel free to debate this one, we haven't got a huge amount of fuel. I think we just basically need to aim up, start flying up at about a 45-degree angle, and that'll get our orbit around the moon fairly easily, and then we can plot a manoeuvre node once we've got it. And it'll not take a big burn to get back. So basically, just make sure you've got a good idea of your nav ball, because when we fly up, we want to make sure you're going to be heading basically in the direction of Kerbal, I think.
We want to head in the direction of Kerbal.
Yeah. Oh, so we're doing it. There was no announcement there.
Yeah, we just go.
That's it. Kind of try and keep it on a straight line. We don't want to have some daft orbit.
I'm spinning wildly out of... Oh,
what have you done?
I forgot to put the various S's on.
Right, now just find your 90, as you normally would do. I mean, take all the time you want, it's just the closest we've ever getting to actually getting this done on camera for Geordie Space Program.
I'm all over the place with the facing of this spacecraft.
Okay, right, now wait until we've got... I'll probably stop now. We don't want to be daft with the fuel. And then plot myself a manoeuvre node to get a good little bit of orbit. 14 seconds, that's not great. We don't need a big orbit. 95 is probably more than we'd need.
That's probably a bit less than we need.
Yeah, we need to make sure. Yep.
37.
That'll do, it's above the mountains. It's all we need. So, yep.
Let me just find where the manoeuvre node is.
Probably bring the legs in now. I've never been able to say that before, we'll always put the legs
Bring
out.
the legs in. Yeah, that's true. I've never been in a position where bringing the legs in was a good idea.
Well, it was just never... Well, it was never a possibility before, was it? Because we'd always put the legs out and then explode. But now we've brought the legs in, because we're actually going home.
We are. We're going back to Kerbal. We think.
Love it.
I mean, the fuel situation's not the best.
That's fine. It's fine. Oodles of fuel. Doesn't matter if you aim for a collision course back to Kerbal. Don't give a shit what you do there. The atmosphere...
We do have parachutes on this, don't we?
Yeah, we do. We've got 3 radials.
Good.
See, we're doing alright.
I'm still really, really nervous.
Well, because you know that I'm going to smash this coffee cup over your head if you fuck this up this close to success. That'll do. There we go. Still got enough fuel to get back. Get rid of that manoeuvre node. Plot myself a tasty new one. Getting we're back within... What, if you could maybe get it within 20 kilometres of Kerbal, that would be ideal. Well, don't go apeshit, though. I feel like a driving instructor. No, that's not right.
That's putting us into an orbit with Kerbal, though.
Keep going and see if it'll... Oh. Doesn't need much of a burn. Now you've missed it now. No, go back. That would do it.
No, I was trying to get straight into the planet.
Get that periapsis.
There we go. Look, that'll take us straight into the planet. 14 seconds burn. And we'll land.
Now, I think you're better off coming down on the far side of the planet because you want to be in that atmosphere for as long as possible to let that do all the braking for you.
The atmosphere and the parachutes will do braking it off. Look, I'll do it like that, and we can
that's so inefficient.
Almost land next to Newcastle.
I don't think we've got enough fuel to do that, though.
Who's the pilot?
If you fuck this up this close to success, I'm personally, and I'll just put this out there on record, I think that you're doing this on purpose to throw. I'm putting that down there. I think you're going to throw this fucking series if you do something daft. So much Delta V here. You don't need it. We want to be in that atmosphere for fucking ages. Just coming down on fire. Lovely fire. Slowing we down. That's what we want.
Now, you doubted me when I shot straight into the Mun.
Yeah.
I've never landed on the Mun and came back, but I've done a loop of the Mun and then came straight back and crashed into Kerbal, and that worked just fine.
I want to make sure we're still in one piece when we're coming back, though.
I was in one piece when I did that.
We haven't had a great record of landing anywhere in one piece, so I just don't see why we wouldn't do it as safely and as conservatively as possible.
This is conservative.
It's not. That's a direct... We're going to fly in a straight line straight into Kerbal.
Which is fine.
Well, there you go. That would take you straight into Kerbal. So much extra fuel that doesn't need to be used. It's tragic. I can't believe I'm the one that's actually saying this.
We've got loads of fuel.
Somebody with an overdeveloped sense of justice is playing the Binding of Isaac.
Yeah, we like the Binding of Isaac. We were hoping to do a Let's Play series of it, but I haven't been able to get Fraps to work with it, and I'm not technical enough to try and learn anything else at this stage.
Yeah. It's probably worth pointing out as well, we've kind of taken a temporary hiatus from Project Zomboid, and we're looking for a new series. If anybody has any suggestions, you should probably maybe drop something in the comment, drop a line.
Yeah, I mean, if there's anything you want to see, we've got loads and loads of games between the two of us, and if we don't have something, we're happy to pick it up if it's going to be a laugh to play and a laugh to record. Yeah,
so if you have got any suggestions, by all means, drop them in too. I'm kind of getting a bit itchy because I've been away from the keyboard now for the past few recording sessions we've had. And I want to get back onto it, basically. So please drop us a suggestion. It's something that you think that myself, Gonzo, is going to play and have good fun time playing. So please let us know.
Gonzo have good fun time.
Good fun time, yeah. I thought I'd speak pidgin English for no apparent reason.
Right, where are we? Where's the planet Kerbal? Look at that. Where the fuck is it?
It's behind you!
Oh, there it is!
That's not good. Not good at all.
Oh, ye of little faith.
Oh, you're coming right down onto a mountain like a friggin' dart. Now, do you want to make... Probably it would make sense to set your parachutes in such a way that they're going to deploy slightly higher than slightly lower if we're coming down into a mountainous region, because I don't want to see Bob die the way that... Did Bob die badly? No, it was Bill who died badly that way, wasn't it? The parachute's deploying.
Oh, you want to be super safe and set them for 750.
Maybe a touch higher, considering we're coming down right into the mountains.
Yeah, but it fires off at the level of the land rather than at sea level, mate.
Now you say that, but I've had times where I've been sitting back kind of waiting for them to do that and they haven't bothered and they haven't ripped. They've just been sort of trailing around behind us and then I've smacked into a mountainside at like 300 metres a second. We're going so fast.
I'll set them at 1,000. The atmosphere will sharp slow us down.
I'm saying so fast, I'm sure the atmosphere will do it, aye.
And bear in mind, I have a little bit of fuel to counteract the speed that we're coming in. That's so fiddly. Okay, that's 3 shoots set to go.
I suppose you could burn the last of the fuel once we're through the atmosphere, just to kind of...
I could, and then I can drop that off and we'll have a bit less weight dragging it down as well, because we've got legs on this.
This is true, aye. We just want to make sure, because those science junior modules things are...
They are sensitive.
I have noticed this is based on my, as I said, my rocket that I designed for me on...
Surely we should be burning by now, we're at 30... There we go.
I have noticed that when I try and land something that's very similar to this, I usually don't put that decoupler in, and usually when the parachutes come out, it usually just drops those fuel tanks and engines. They just hurtle off. And for a while I did have all my goo canisters and some other bits and pieces like that.
And you were worried about the speed. Look at that, I could go back up in orbit if I wanted.
It's quite sexy. My God, we're so close. Providing we don't do anything stupid here. I think we've got it.
Okay, we appear to be landing on a mountain range.
See, that's not good. That's never good. It's never good in the slightest. Put the parachutes out.
I'm just worried that it'll tip over and destroy some of the sciencey equipment.
Oh, they're up. We'll be fine.
And we've still got... You see, that's 1,000 feet above.
Yeah, unfortunately, you see when the debris from the Nipple-Less Wonder hit the bottom and then it rolled off down the hill. I hope that doesn't happen with our craft here.
Nah, we'll be fine, buddy. We've made it. We've done it. Bob is a hero. Actually, you can probably do another EVA report. Or
No!
Another crew report. A crew report.
Fuck. Christ. I nearly shat myself.
No, I can't. It would overwrite the existing one. It must be the EVA reports that you can do multiple of.
Yeah.
That's right, because the cockpit can store one and each Kerbal can store one. So I get out and do another EVA report here. I think you can only have the one soil sample, but I'll double check. I won't overwrite the existing one.
Don't do anything daft.
Sure.
I don't want him being crushed by his own rolling spaceship when we get down here. I know as long as we can recover the craft and what have you, that's
I won't get out of the spaceship until it is perfectly stationary and fine. I mean, the science is all with the craft, but Bob's a hero. I think we should retire Bob after this.
I think so. Yeah, fuck that. We're not risking him. I mean, he's already died once. Can you believe he's went from headbutting the sand at 500 miles an hour to landing on the moon?
Well,
coming back.
It's certainly a good comeback, isn't it?
Probably slow down and see a shadow starting to kind of creep up on you here. We'll just have to talk it down. I think we're actually coming down on quite a flat plane here as well. We've landed right at the foot of the mountain.
Oh yeah, that was my skill. Did you not see my excellent manoeuvring?
I hope that doesn't come rolling down on top of where that's all we friggin' need.
No, it's getting further away rather than closer. Oh, hang on.
Oh. Fine.
Hey!
Get in there. We've done it. Right. Awesome.
EVA out of
legs
there.
in.
Oh, if only he had a second flag.
Oh,
He
does. There we go. Yeah, I thought there wasn't any kind of limit on flags.
I thought you only got one flag.
Why another one down? Oh, that's what we're like. Backwards flag.
What we're like. I'm back, baby. Suck it. EVA report, no science.
On the Highlands, we must have been here before. Probably taking any...
An extra 2.3 science.
What a nice way to end things off.
So let's head to the Space Centre. Oh, I'm going to crack my knuckles because this is going to be sexy.
Let's just have a look, and then I think we should call it.
First, we will recover Bob for a total of 2.3 signs in this mission.
Nice.
And then we will recover the Nipple-Less Wonder Mark II for a total of 342 science. Geordie Space Program, we said we were going to get to the Mun, and we said we were going to come back again. We have succeeded in the goal that the Geordie Space Program was set up for, but I think there is still so much more that Geordie Science can achieve.
Lives have been lost, and I think it's a shame to devalue those lives by not proceeding to see how far we can push this ticket into space.
Next stop, Minmus.
I believe so.
Join us next time when the Geordie Space Program will be shooting for Minmus. Thanks for watching. If you've enjoyed it, please drop a like or a subscription. Check out some of our other vids, and hopefully we'll see you next time.
Toodaloo!
Toodaloo!